Okay, so this is Cuomo on election day, and a well-meaning fan tried to bless him with the well wishes of the God of the Hebrews.
Today, I promise you, like he helps to call to Trump, he's gonna help you. God of Israel gonna help you today.
Okay, Abier, guess God decided to take the day off. Now, if I'm not wrong, I think I know who that is. That's actually a Zionist account. So she's mad at God. She's mad at God today. She should look at her Bible. That never ends well in the Old Testament. But you want to see how deeply racist these people are? This is John Levine. So it's a video of Mehdi Hassan, Hassan Piker, Mahmoud Khalil, and Jamal Bowman at the victory party. He says, I can smell this video. I can smell this video. I mean, they're not even trying to hide it. Like, they're not even trying to make it about even jihadi. Like, a lot of them are just straight out. This is the worst of the kind of racism that we saw directed at the groups that these people are from, that Levine is from. I am assuming from that name that he's Jewish. Like, these are the exact kinds of things they said about his grandparents or great grandparents. Yeah, they smell, their cooking stinks, they don't bathe, they live like pigs. Here's dildo salesman Rabbi Shmuley on election night, predictably melting down and spreading falsehoods.
My friends, tonight is a catastrophe for the greatest city in the world and the new Rome, New York. Let me be clear. Normally, when you have a young anonymous candidate who elevates himself from obscurity and wins an election of this monument, it should be something to celebrate. It shows that this is America. Anyone can achieve anything. Mamdani's an immigrant and won very high office. God bless him. That's a beautiful thing. Mamdani's a Muslim and becomes mayor of America's biggest city. Normally, that would be a beautiful thing. Christian, Muslim, Jewish, it makes absolutely no difference. It shows that Americans are not Islamophobic, not anti-Semitic, not racist. We've had Jewish mayors, we've had black mayors. The difference is that Mamdani is someone who's utterly intolerant of others. He rejects American ideals. He is not an immigrant who embraced American values. Defending Israel, the only democracy in the Middle East.
Oh,
defending
that's the first
Israel's
one.
right to defend itself against terrorism. This is
First
someone
two.
who wants to spread terrorism. This is someone who said he wants to globalize Intifada. That means globalize the murder of Jews worldwide.
No, it doesn't
And then you
mean
have
that.
the
No, he
economic
didn't say that.
policies. The reason why New York is the global financial capital is it inspires people to develop their talent, whether it's through AI and technology.
Okay, all right. So yes, as I'm sure you've all caught, he's just lying and lying and lying. And if you notice with people like Shmuley, they always say it's okay to be a Muslim, but they're never able to find a Muslim that they're okay with.
Right.
They're
Right.
okay in theory, just like you can criticize Israel without being anti-Semitic, but they've never heard a criticism of Israel that they didn't call anti-Semitic.
Right.
In theory, you can do that. In practice, they never allow anybody that kind of space. And of course, saying he called for globalizing the Intifada is just a lie. Saying that globalize the Intifada means to kill all the Jews is a lie. He's just lying. But he wasn't done. So he goes to Lincoln Center, and this is the interior of the Metropolitan Opera House that he's in, making this video. According to him, the Lincoln Center is done now.
Everyone, I wanted to just come to a cultural center in New York in order to say goodbye to it. This is Lincoln Center, one of the most celebrated bastions of ballet, opera, philharmonic music, classical music. God Almighty, everything. What Zohar Mamdani is going to do, of course, is cut funding to all these things. He doesn't understand New York at all. Does New York have to be affordable? Of course. That's done through competition. That's done through incentivizing developers to build more houses so there's more availability. More availability means lower prices. Instead, what he's going to do is he's going to tax the rich, soak the rich, so the developers don't want to touch the city with a barge pole. All of these places are going to go to hell and back because no one's, without patronage, they're not going to have money. They're not going to get city money. And New York's going to become a disgusting hovel. Now, If that's what his voters wanted, then why did they move to New York in the first place? There are so many cities around America that are disgusting hovels. There are so many cities around the world that are disgusting hovels. Clearly, they came to New York because they love the internationalism, the globalism, the variety, the restaurants, the bars, and, of course, the great cultural institutions.
I just have to say, how many of those disgusting hovels are run by socialist mayors? How many?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. For one thing, the whole thing is just incredibly tone deaf. And again, people like him, like Savetsky, they are anti-Semitism weapons of mass destruction. You could not do more to reinforce the vision of Jews as elitist globalists who hate average people than to go to the lobby of the fucking Metropolitan Opera House, of all things, and lament the loss of culture under the new mayor and compare New York to the disgusting hovels in other parts of the country. Like, you could not do more to reinforce 6 or 7 negative anti-Semitic stereotypes than he does just in the minute and a half of that video that we showed. But it's not just an anti-Semitic stereotype. It's a New York stereotype of New Yorkers as these out-of-touch elitists. But remember, very few New Yorkers have ever even set foot inside the Metropolitan Opera House. Shmuley is speaking for Ackman and his ilk. This city, to them, is for them and for the kind of people. Do you know what it costs to go to a fucking opera at the Metropolitan Opera House? This is not something that working people are doing. And yes, there are certain programs. You could go to the Philharmonic in the daytime and they have lower cost things, but they certainly don't encourage people to do that. There is no real outreach to working class communities to bring them to Lincoln Center at low or no cost so that they can enjoy the arts. Lincoln Center is very much an elite institution that is there for New York's elite classes, and that is pretty much how they run it. Lincoln Center might as well be on the moon for the average person living in New York City, and it's very telling that he decided to build his argument, his completely batshit insane argument, that Lincoln Center is going to collapse as the basis for being offended by Mamdani. I don't think even Bill Ackman is out of touch enough to go do that and not understand the connotations of a video like that. But even what he's saying about housing, I mean, everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. There were multiple propositions. There were 5 propositions on the ballot, and 3 of them concerned making it easier to build more housing, and they all passed. There's the Wall Street Journal, not a lefty newspaper. How New York developers scored a victory on election night. 3 measures passed that should ease approval of new housing developments. And I will point out once again, because people like Shmuley, like Ackman, are talking about New York like it's got a great real estate market, right? Well, New York also has the strictest tenant protections in the country. So those things don't go together. If having these kind of socialist policies that protect people are going to degrade quality of life in the city, then why do you like the city so much? Shouldn't the city be the kind of disgusting hovel that you're talking about? We've had these protections since the 50s, and New York has thrived most of that time, certainly in recent times, with these protections still in place. I mean, thrived for a certain class of person, the class of person that Shmuley speaks for and is most comfortable with. You're muted.
No, sorry, go ahead.
So file this under threaten me with a good time. Rabbi Mark Schneer. With the news of Zoran Mamdani mayoral victory, I am announcing plans for the building of the first Jewish day school in the Hamptons. Are you sensing a trend here?
Yeah.
This is in anticipation of the thousands of Jewish families that will flock to the Hamptons and greater Suffolk County to escape the anti-Semitic climate of Mamdani's New York City. Well, those are some real people of the soil there who are fleeing to the fucking Hamptons. Wow. You know what that sounds like? You know what that sounds like? That sounds like an oppressed class. That sounds like a class with no power. People who can pick up and flee to the Hamptons because they don't like who the mayor is.
I'll go open a day school in the Hamptons. How do you like that?
What an oppressed minority that is. That could just pick up and go to the Hamptons. You know, I live in Harlem, man. I bet a good portion of the people in Harlem would love to pick up and go to the Hamptons.
Right.
I don't think most of them are able to do that. If you're going to claim that you're in horrific danger, maybe don't start building a day school in the Hamptons that you expect thousands of people to flee to. Yeshai Fleischer. Dear New York City Jews, not even Mamdani can destroy a great city like New York in one night, but the process has begun. Indeed, it was a great run, and you were a blessing to NYC, but Jews will feel less and less comfortable in the Big Apple. So do yourself a favor. Buy real estate in the land of Israel. It's good for your kids. It's good for your money. And it's simply the next chapter in our people's story. Let Mamdani be a messenger of a good but hard decision. Goodbye, New York. Shalom, Jerusalem. Now, where would they go in Jerusalem, I wonder? We'll get to it. So somebody responded to this, Andrea Karshan. If I could afford to move to Israel, I would definitely do it at least part-time. But Israel is very expensive. And many of us also have family, businesses, and other connections in NYC that we just can't leave. But I have been looking at the Hamptons. Shouldn't say that part. And he responded, I know it, and I am sensitive to the issues you are raising, but make every effort. There are still affordable and beautiful places here. You won't regret it. So what kind of beautiful, affordable places might he be thinking of? Well, if you want to move into an illegal settlement, I'm sure those are going cheap.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want that smell of burning olive trees going through your apartment. You're going to have to move to Tel Aviv. So yeah, not coincidentally, I'm sure, on November 4th, they put up this ad. New Jewish neighborhood in Hebron. For the first time in 20 years, Jewish families can move into new homes in Hebron. Please join me in helping the families and strengthening Hebron and Israel. So he's telling people to come from New York and move into these illegal settlements, these settlements that are illegal under international law, where we've been seeing these horrible Hebron Hills Have Eyes videos of these masked inbred freaks attacking people and burning their olive trees, attacking old ladies. This is where he's telling Jews they should go. And this fits the analysis that a lot of people have. They love anti-Semitism. They want Jews to feel unsafe because that gets them to go there and build their greater Israel project. They need cannon fodder. They need to bring them over there to go on the front lines of land theft. Now, it's not everybody here. You probably heard this broke like the day of the election, and it was incorrectly claimed that the Hasids had endorsed Mamdani. Some of them did, and specifically, predictably, the Satmars, which we explained in a segment the other night, are in Williamsburg. Heartfelt congratulations and mazel tov to New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani. We are proud to endorse you and look forward to your leadership, vision, and collaboration for the betterment of our community and all New Yorkers. Now, this is what is kind of amazing about the Zionists. They still don't get it. A lot of people, to bring you back to the first debate, believe that Mamdani won the election at this moment.
Foreign visit by a mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first? Left to right, Ms. Adams.
First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
Mr. Cuomo?
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Mr. Tilson, where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, 2 of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror.
Mr. Mamdani.
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples or at their homes or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not
as a Jewish state?
As a state with equal rights.
He won't
Not as
say
a
it
Jewish
has a
state.
right to exist as a Jewish state. Be very
And
clear
his
on
answer was no, he won't visit Israel.
I said that.
That's what he was trying to say.
No. Unlike you, I answer questions very directly.
All right.
My goal would be to take my first trip to Israel. My wife's life work in this area means a lot to our family, and it could coincide with my young son Miles' bar mitzvah, if you'd like to have his bar mitzvah.
Okay, but
it must not mean that much to your family. You're 88 and you haven't been there yet.
Yeah, and you haven't been there. So Adam here tweets out, Zohar Mamdani is now mayor of New York. Here you can see why. America is done with Israel. America is done with Zionists. Hey, you got some Zionists who are too stupid to figure out that part of the plan is ginning up anti-Semitism and terrorizing them into thinking it's a good idea to go live in Israel. And then you got the ones that are fully aware of that, I think, like the guy who's saying, yes, we have to leave now, and then putting out an ad for settlements in Hebron. They very consciously love anti-Semitism and are trying to seize on it and take advantage of it. But for anyone who's not coming from that school, if you are dumb enough to not realize it's not anti-Semitism, it's anti-Zionism, but the more you pump up Zionism, we have said this since October 8th, the more you're going to create anti-Semitism. The more you insist that Zionism and Judaism are the same thing, the more people are going to take you at your word. And yes, you are getting an incredible explosion in anti-Semitism. There's a certain faction like that Fleischer scumbag who love that and are using it as an opportunity to try to get more warm bodies into greater Israel.
Right. They want bodies there to put into the West Bank, basically. Right. So they're like, oh, it's terrible that this happens. It's very scary over there. Don't you feel unsafe there? Come here. Right. Come and help us expand into the West Bank. Yeah, of course. That's what it is. And so, yeah, I mean, between the clowns at Cuomo headquarters and these people, yeah, I mean, you're seeing a meltdown of all the right people in response to this victory, for sure.
Please clap.